Hello, welcome to another episode of Somewhere Between a Film and TV podcast. We are your hosts. I am Daniel Parra,
And I'm Erwin Trow.
and we're recording together again, Erwin, in the same room.
Yes.
That's exciting.
This room is dirty.
It looked fine to me. You did not make your bed though, that's for sure.
I don't know what it's made out of, man.
Okay.
So you were thinking about my bed. I knew it.
I'm
I knew
looking
you
at
were
it right
thinking.
now yet.
I knew you were thinking about it.
Okay, full disclosure, right off the bat, this is full spoilers because we cannot do this spoiler free.
Yes. Just like the internet itself.
Yeah, honestly. Okay, but before we even start, what did you have spoiled for you? Did you have anything at all? What was it?
I guess.
Well, full spoilers. Okay.
Starting now.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing I got spoiled for me was just at like the last credit, like after credit scene with Doctor Strange.
The trailer.
The trailer, yeah.
Which,
because when I first saw it, it looked fake. It looked like just like replicants from previous movie for the first Doctor Strange movie. It was like, oh, it looks the same. And then at first once I noticed like a different scene, I was like, oh no, and then I looked away, and then me being curious, I went back and I saw the full thing, and I was like, oh, this is a trailer.
like, this looks pretty good for a fan made thing. That's
right. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But this is gonna be so out of order. Like, I think there's no way to really structure our thoughts about this movie. I texted you this morning, and this holds true. We saw it very late last night. This is the first thing I think we're reviewing that we saw together.
Together and right away.
Yeah, and we could not hold our thoughts from each other because the premise of our show. What we like to do, if you don't know, number one, thank you so much for listening, if you haven't before. Number two, imagine you're walking out of a theater. You want to talk about what you just saw, exactly what we did. You get a little bit off topic, but eventually you circle back around. That's what we like to do. And I think I can say this is the most excited I've been for something since Endgame, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Endgame as well.
Like, I loved Shang-Chi, loved Eternals, but this was like...
This
another
was
yeah.
It still feels unreal.
And no, I texted you this morning. I was like, this did not feel real. I was like, that feels like talking about how we rewatched a bunch of them. I didn't rewatch all of them just because I didn't have the time to do so, and I watched them so out of order. But you remember them?
Yeah,
fairly. Yeah, I could tell you. We watched Far From Home.
Yes.
Yesterday, and this one picks up the second it ends. Essentially, actually, pretty much, it plays the last scene over throughout the opening logos, and I thought that was really well done. And movie kicks off, just starts, honestly, and the amount of tension in the movie right off the bat works very well. I noticed something we were talking about while we were watching Far From Home, that we were like, I like the tone of the high school movies for sure. This one starts off like that, and it gets progressively darker and loses that as the movie goes on. I would ask you, were you excited for this?
Yes, I was definitely excited about this movie, but I guess it didn't click with me that I was about to watch this movie. Once I was in the theater, just sitting there, and then the movie was about to start and everything, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm about to see this right now.
Yeah.
Because the amount of things and not just things as in spoilers, leaks, who's coming in, who's not, this and that.
Yeah.
You just don't know, and when you're just sitting there, I felt like I shut down. I didn't know what I was watching at that point.
Yeah, a whole lot of us, a lot of our friends went to go see it. Definitely, we took up an entire row. It was very fun. Audience reaction was awesome.
Yes, that was great.
I don't love when people talk. I've talked about this before, but I love that type of interplay with a movie. People gasp at the right things. I love that there's spoilers. So we've already cleared that. Matt Murdock, there's a shot of a cane. Yeah.
Everyone loved it. Oh my god. I loved it. I freaked out.
It just wasn't him. It was like, oh, he's blind. Oh yeah. Did you know that okay, so you want to know how you know that this movie is groundbreaking on another level in terms of multiverse stuff? the best superhero of them all, Chef Jean Favreau's in this.
Chef is chef. Oh, like it's like that one joke that we would say. It's like Tom Holland is in this movie.
Oh yeah. Or no, gee, damn your chair.
My bad. Sorry, I gave you the comfy chair.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. No, it's funny because I feel like at a loss for words because there's so much to say about it.
Yes.
So, like, trying to get more structured. When we did our Spider-Man ranked stuff,
yes,
we talked about how Amazing Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3 we like them both.
Yes.
But they are overstuffed. This movie somehow, some way, has 5 villains, a lot going on, Doctor Strange, 3 different Spider-Men, and balances it perfectly and somehow manages to focus on Tom Holland as this character and what he's going through, like, amazing. I don't.
Nice Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. I love the line where they keep calling Andrew Garfield like, "You're amazing." Like, you're amazing. It's great.
It's like that meme with Leonardo DiCaprio going like.
Oh yeah, did you hear what Aaron said? We saw with Aaron. There's a guy apparently next to him, and he was doing the Leonardo DiCaprio meme the entire time.
Dude, that's
apparently.
awesome.
He's just like, oh my god.
So what was Aaron saying? Because he was saying like he was like a big Raimi fan and like
Daredevil
fan.
Dakota said he was like,
Dakota.
I figure that the guy that Aaron was sitting next to must have been a big fan of when things are like gritty and Daredevil and the Sam Raimi movies, because every time anything was referenced like that, and this movie is definitely the darkest of like the Spider-Man movies.
Oh my
really.
god, yes. It went so... It's like that thing where Chris Tuckman said how, or like not even just Chris Tuckman.
Person we love, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
About what people want from Spider-Man, where he gets beaten up so much and just like comes up from over the top and everything.
Yeah.
And you definitely get that from this movie, which is insane.
No, it reminded me of... I mean, Far From Home, we say that happens.
Yeah.
It doubles down, triples down, honestly, here. It reminded me...
3 of them.
Oh, yeah. I love the song that they play in the credits, the 3... whatever that song is. I want to listen to it again. But in terms of Spider-Man 2, it reminded me of Spider-Man 2 in that it is like relentless problem after problem with him in this. And the midpoint of this, when I didn't think they'd do it, like... In terms of what I had spoiled for me, I saw a picture of Matt Murdock, and I was like, that's not real.
That looks... Right?
Yeah.
I don't know who's out there trying to leak all this stuff just to showcase...
It's very frustrating.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with the movie itself. The internet has gotten to a point when Endgame,
I wasn't spoiled with anything with Endgame.
I think I saw something, but I couldn't tell you what it was exactly. Here, I saw a picture somewhere on Twitter of Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, that suit, which is like instantly recognizable. Like, you know that's him.
It's the eyes.
Yeah, or like I love that there's a very distinguished, they all look different.
Yes.
And seeing them together, the shot of them where they're like, the long shot where they're tracking all 3 of them and they're spinning around with each other and then they land on the Statue of Liberty.
It's still unreal. I think about that all the time now, and it's just like, holy crap.
You know how people like, the trailer where Lizard gets hit by nothing and then you're like,
yes.
So I was like, that was Andrew Garfield, yeah.
Oh, man. I wonder why they just like cut before.
Yeah, why didn't apparently that was if you watch the American trailer, for America, they don't show that part, but it was a trailer for some different country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Whatever. I feel like if they didn't have that part, then you have like a sense of spider sense, of the other 2 actors not showing up. Then
yeah,
because I that's like the only thing, because when you see that happening, you're just like, well, clearly there's someone else there. Why wouldn't they show Doctor Strange? If he's already like established in the trailers, Which I'm glad that he wasn't like in and out in the movie a lot in itself.
No, I'm really happy about that. I love Doctor Strange. I do.
Yes.
Multiverse of Madness. That trailer rocked.
Oh my god,
that was great.
Yes.
Yeah, and Sam, I was telling you this. Like, I think not to be that like person that is like, oh, you can see their style just in the trailer, but I felt like I was like, you can. I was like, that's so him, like instantly, and they're already tying back into What If and WandaVision, which is exciting because I loved WandaVision. I liked What If quite a bit. But the best one was the Doctor Strange one. And so when they show him, like, I actually, usually I'm not the most verbal or vocal person in a theater. Yeah. I was like, because I was really happy about that. Honestly, I mean, everything about this, I like kind of a euphoria. Like, I haven't had a movie experience where my face just looked like stupid smile. Like,
I was just happy.
Yeah. Did you cry?
No. I think I cry. Like, I feel like I'm gonna cry the next time I watch it. I feel like in Endgame, I cried because it had satisfying moments, like moments that led up to that.
Yeah.
Right. And so with this movie, with No Way Home, it was more like unbelievable. Like I'm in disbelief of what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
You never thought like this could happen. You know, it was never built up to it.
No, I agree with you. Like, I saw something that Tom Holland said where he was like, in terms of emotional payoff, this is kind of bigger than Endgame because these moments are from 20 years of film. And I was like, he's right about that. Yeah. I mean, because the thing about Endgame was we knew that what stuff they were going to pay off, like, because they set it up and it wasn't done yet. Here, credits to Sony, finally, by the way, for not showing... really the second half of this movie.
Jeez, yes. They show the final shot.
They also barely show Sandman.
No, they show the final shot of the movie.
Oh no, they
in the trailer.
By the way, I love the ending to this movie.
Oh, it looks so beautiful. I can't wait till they release something like just to see a clear shot of that suit.
Oh, the suit. Yes, I love that he makes it.
Yes.
Like you and I both never had the issue that some people have.
Oh no.
But I love that finally in this one they were like anything that Tony Stark gave him, like they preface it pretty early on. The suit lady that he talks about, it doesn't work. Yes. The any of like the AI where like that helps him. I love there's like a little tiny detail. It's a very Spider-Man thing for him to do where he's like FaceTiming his friends and he duct tapes it to his own suit. And the fact that it's stained because someone like threw it at him, like the paint or whatever, so he flips it inside out, is like it's really small details like that for me that like make that character. And it's paced perfectly. Like I think that so it moves like it's instantly.
Didn't your dad go on his phone?
No.
Okay.
What my dad does is I like he needs to turn off his watch. He has one of those
that's
like
what it was.
Yeah.
I was like I saw something bright.
Yeah, like it goes off every time he gets a text message, and he gets so many text messages. Like, who are you talking to, Dad? Like,
you're not popular, Dad. What are you doing?
Yeah, I always want to ask him because like his watch makes like text notification noises. Okay. I'm like, dude. But my dad needs to track his steps, so.
He was sitting down for like 3 hours.
Well, sometimes he'll be like, hey, look, I got 10,000 today. I'm like, awesome, Dad.
All right, Dad, cool. Well, I'm about to see Green Goblin kick some ass right now.
What was... No, okay, I was like, have we seen... We watched...
Have we seen No Way Home?
Have we?
Did we? Are we still dreaming right now?
No, I don't know. I was like, did we watch... Yes. So we've seen all three of these together in theaters.
Oh, wow, we did.
But what happened with Homecoming was our friend Steven hadn't seen it, and it had already been out for like a month. And I remember Steven liking it. I remember we loved it, of course.
Yeah.
And then Far From Home, we saw like the whole story about us watching it and then watching it again the next day. And then this one was, I don't know, it was like an incredibly flooring experience.
It's Florence Pugh.
She's in Hawkeye. Spoilers for that, I guess. But like, I mean.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that episode yet. We will when the show's over. We'll.
Yes. Yeah,
because we were doing it like 2 at a time. We'll probably group that with like, The Matrix.
I'll say House of Gucci.
Yeah, we already reviewed that. Yeah. That's what I was like. Are you excited for this? And you're like, no.
I wasn't.
That's you with everything.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Apollo.
Oh yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I'd rather talk about Spider-Man.
No, yes, okay. What else? Green Goblin was like the best villain.
I think he tops his performance.
Oh my gosh,
the
yes.
first Raimi movie. He's a dick. Yeah,
yeah. like I don't even know what to say. It was brutal that fight with in the building.
Oh, in the middle before it leads up to the death of Aunt May. I was telling you, I was like, what I love about this is I've never had the issue that some people have with the humor of the MCU. I don't. Here though, the serious moments they stay on them. Like the scene where it leads up to Aunt May dying, and it leads to finally. With great power comes great responsibility.
Great, that was amazing.
I will say though, when Andrew Garfield's like, I've heard that, I was like, no, yours is It's like,
yes, dude, me too. He just goes on a speech.
Yeah, he's like, you have a moral obligation to do some things sometimes that are important. He's like, yeah,
responsibility.
But I mean, because I wanted to hold about talking about the other two so we can talk about more of this because I know that the final half of this is what people are going to want to talk about. But the first half is still so great.
It's still good, yes. Also, seeing the villains interact with one another in the beginning was amazing.
Yeah, Alfred Molina. I was thinking about this. Everyone instantly slips back into the same character that they were, with the exception of Andrew Garfield's, but they changed them for the better. Yeah. I love So I like Jamie Foxx in that movie. Yes. We both talk about how we don't mind that movie. It has a plethora of problems, but we both enjoy it.
I mean, we talked about it where it's like, if anything, it was most comic book ish, superhero movie, right? But it goes to show that even if you try to go for that accurate comic book type of movie, it just won't play out right. Yeah.
But this one does. They even give him So, I think we mentioned that he gets dialogue that you would say in a comic book, but that can be done better. Mm-hmm. And it's done better here. There's a lot of payoff to a lot of things we were talking about that we never thought we'd get payoff to. Oh, yes. Like when Andrew Garfield finally gets to talk with Max again, he was like, you were never a nobody. And I was like, it really helped to have just seen that movie the other day. Yes. Where... It was great because the thing about Spider-Man is he's always had a personal connection to all of his villains. I love that Sandman is a villain only because he's like, I want to go see my daughter.
I want to see my daughter.
I agree with what our friend Dakota said. For a long time, I was like, why is he Sand? I was like, I know he's Sand, but what?
What? I'm confused.
No, but I was like, that's Thomas Hayden Church. It sounds like him. It sounds like Sandman. Yeah. And I was like, is he gonna be Sand the whole time? But then he wasn't. They show his face. Yeah. So. I don't know. For a long time, I was curious,
Me too, yeah.
what that was. Mm-hmm. It leads to a great. I've heard some people say this in their reviews, and I agree. There are moments in this where you're just watching it, and you're like, I'm not looking at anything real. Not in terms of the CGI looks fake or anything. I mean in terms of pure disbelief that whenever
they brought these people back.
Yes,
these people came back. That's insane.
Willem Dafoe slips right back into being Green Goblin and Norman Osborn, and whenever Alfred Molina's Doc Ock is like, I know him. I was like, yeah, he should know him. I was like, yeah, they've never shown them together. Yes. When you really think about it, because we grew up with those movies, right? Yes. You never think about whenever you're watching those in order. You're like, that's right. They're not.
They're in the same.
They've never met. Yeah. Yeah. Or we've never seen them meet, but he's like, oh, I know him. He's like, this, and a lot of Willem Dafoe, he has some lines in this that are, of course, fan servicey moments of lines you've heard before when he says, I'm something of a scientist myself, and people clapped when he said that.
It's fellow memers over here.
Yeah, or the power of the sun in the palm of my hand. He says it twice.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah. And then, but there's other things that Willem Dafoe says where I'm like, that sounds instantly iconic that I thought he'd said it before. I was like, no, that's just a new thing. And I want to talk about the action in this simply because it's something that I tend to focus on a bit just because I do love it. I love the stakes here. It feels like there's a lot of weight to some of the stuff they do. There's a scene, like we mentioned, in the apartment complex before he kills Aunt May, there where he laughs whenever Peter's trying to hit him because he's like pulling his punches.
Yes.
And he's just like has this maniacal look, and he's
that was, you felt like, I don't know, like it's just like how much he cares about that character and how much effort he's putting into Green Goblin.
You heard what he said about playing that character for this, right?
No.
I don't know how old Willem Dafoe is. I think I read that he was 58 earlier today. Yeah, he looks the exact same. Maybe they de-aged him. I could not tell you.
Yeah.
But, which that reminds me, I want to review Nightmare Alley because he's in that. Not because he's in it. I want to see that movie, but he is in that.
Guillermo del Toro.
I've heard it's good. I've heard mixed things about it, kind of. But
no.
He said that in order for him to play this character again, he wanted to do the stunts himself.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and I was like, "This dude,
Jared Leto.
He just cares." Like, and you can tell. Oh yeah, Morbius. Where was Morbius?
Where was Morbius?
Honestly, like, they explained Venom perfectly for me because we were both like, whatever on Venom 2. I watched it in preparation again for this, and we were very nice to that movie. I'm gonna continue to be nice to it because it was whatever. It was a passable time. I didn't hate watching it. Still don't.
Yes.
I'm glad that I want them to do the proper story, and it looks like they're setting that up for the future. I think what benefits this one in particular with Tom Holland is if you were one of those people that ever had a problem with him, not enough bad stuff happened to him, not enough, because like that's.
I find that funny though.
Oh yeah.
They were like, I just want his life to suck. I just want his life to be miserable, because that's what Spider-Man is. And it's like, okay.
It's integral to the character, but
yes.
It made me realize I was like, people can't wait.
No, yes.
And they make you wait, and I was like,
definitely make you wait.
With this one, it was a lot of like, you start to realize that, wow, I do care about Ned a lot. I do care about his relationship with MJ. I like that they call her Mary Jane. She's like, that's not my name.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was smart. The thing with Doctor Strange he was like, I'm not your father figure. It was like, I think that was smart because that character is similar to Tony Stark, but he's not Tony Stark.
No.
And in terms of Aunt May and everything, I was like, those first two movies exist so you can like really develop that relationship and care about them by then. So whenever he has to make the sacrifice, it's like a very Spider-Man thing to do. The scene at the end where he's in the coffee shop and it's just like he really wants to tell her that he is like they knew each other or whatever. I really thought that they weren't gonna fully commit to that. I thought someone was gonna be like give a knowing look or something.
Oh yeah, me too. But I kind of like the way it's going right now for sure, just because it shows that Peter, you know, ever since he realized like how much power he has within himself and what he can like be capable of doing and what he saw from what just happened beforehand, you know, he has to have like, you know, that responsibility of just putting others like in a safer position in order for him to keep doing what he needs to be doing.
Yeah, like there's a really brief moment in that where he was like, he sees the Band-Aid on.
Oh yes, I love that.
And that's what makes him change his mind because he like you can tell he's like, I don't need to put them in danger again.
Yes, I love when the fact when they both meet each other again at the end of that fight.
Yeah.
And she has like that scratch on her forehead while Peter's all beat up, bruised up, and everything. He's like, "Oh, are you okay?" He's like, "Peter, are you okay?" Like.
So that fight on the shield, like the Statue of Liberty shield with Willem Dafoe, and he's just like punching him over and over and over, and then like, I honestly thought, I was like, maybe this character, it says a lot about this one movie alone, that you're like, with them killing Aunt May, it adds enough stake to the story that I was like, whenever Tobey Maguire gets stabbed, I was like, are they killing him? And I was like, I don't think people would be happy about him being in about half an hour of this movie And then
just to die like that, and not knowing like what has happened to his other, I guess like, because time has gone by though, right?
Yeah.
Besides like looking at Tobey Maguire.
No, which we were talking about how like, okay, so in the first one when he's in high school, you're like, that dude's 30.
Yes.
But like, and now you're like, that dude's 60 or like 50 or however
he's
old he is.
He's definitely getting older.
Yeah.
I know, and then like his eyes. Remember when I told you about his eyes?
Oh,
how they were just very out there.
There's a moment with him where he looks so happy to be there.
Yeah.
Him and Andrew Garfield look like they're like they go right back into their roles. Oh, yes. Honestly, like
especially Andrew Garfield, he definitely like missed it.
Oh yeah, honestly when the portal thing with Ned, when he first walks through, I guess we should just start talking about it because I mean, I don't want to avoid it.
Yeah, man.
So that moment when they're in Ned's home and they open and you start to see him walk through. At first in my head I was like, Tobey Maguire, I was like, they would do him first, right? I was like, but no, but then when he first comes through, I was like, they would make you wait for Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
But then Andrew Garfield showing up, I was like, I
thought that one was a bigger reaction. I think that was a bigger reaction because then you knew what was going to happen next.
Yeah, you're like, okay, if he's in this,
then yes.
Which I feel, I remember complaining about this to you before. I was like, I want him to finally get the payoff that character, that rendition of that character needs to get. I was like, because for all of Amazing Spider-Man's faults, Andrew Garfield was never one of them. I was like, he was always a great Spider-Man and Peter Parker. And they bring up Gwen Stacy, and when he's like, that was my MJ.
I love when he said, my Gwen.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah. It was
it's those little things.
No, it is.
Yes.
And it's the moment where he catches Zendaya.
Yes.
And you see his face.
Oh, dude, that face when he started crying, I was... That hit. Because even in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, like, that relationship together, like, was so strong. Like, the way it was just written and directed, like, that relationship was just the integral thing when it came to those movies.
It's the best part of those movies for sure. And there's a great line that Tobey Maguire has where he's like, I had a best friend. And and I don't know, like I said, there's a whole lot of payoff that you never thought that you would get closure to. Like whenever Spider-Man 3, it ends with them still not together, MJ and Peter, and you're like, do they? And then he has a line where he's like, it got complicated, but we made it work. I was like, thank you. We were talking about how would you want to see Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4? For me personally, yes to both.
No. I'd say Amazing Spider-Man 3, and that's it.
That's it?
Yeah, I feel like we got enough with Tobey Maguire as him as being Spider-Man and what we could see him in the future. I feel like we could still get another Amazing Spider-Man 3 in terms of like Andrew Garfield trying to showcase more of him getting over the fact of like it's not his fault how Gwen Stacy just died like that, but just him being better as Spider-Man, going back into that routine. Because it sounded like whenever he was talking about the aftermath of Gwen Stacy, he was trying to go back into it, but he was more ruthless.
Right, yeah. He implies that he started killing people. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm just curious. I'm like, how he would handle that back,
No, I'm curious too, and So are these MCU canon? They are MCU.
Yeah.
Canon.
So I work for Marvel Studios, guys, right? And so I can confirm this.
We need to redo our entire list. Venom bottom.
We're not making a Venom 3, guys.
Yeah, I can tell you that right now. It's like if all of these are canon, then Venom and Venom 2 are my least favorite. Whatever. I thought that was funny.
That makes me think now, because if Andrew Garfield says, saying he was more lethal in his after with the aftermath of Gwen, right?
Right. Yeah.
With the Morbius trailer, it says that murderer thing.
The Morbius trailer.
Right? It's still there.
Oh, you know what? Maybe you're right.
Yeah, because... it could, and what you said though too, how the Oscorp thing and the Daily Bugle, as well. How it's in that same like universe as the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh,
so they
yeah.
could make it where the Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Amazing Spider-Man 3 is a possible thing. And I still don't get the whole Michael Keaton Vulture thing. I don't know.
My question is, why in the hell
Yes,
is Michael Keaton there?
Watch him just be just like
Michael
not
Keaton.
Vulture.
Just some guy.
Just some random criminal.
That feels like something Sony would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but like
we'll see.
I'm trying to think. I was like, I love the joke about Peter Parker would just bring 5 villains to like Happy Hogan's apartment. I love the. Honestly, like, okay, so we made this joke, and whoever like, Eric Summers and the people who wrote this.
Chris McKenna.
Chris McKenna. Yeah, that's one of them.
Oh, okay.
They're very clearly aware that everybody thought the same thing of the lizard, yes. Because he even makes a joke. He's like, I wanted to turn everybody into lizards, and then
we just said it out loud. I was like, what?
I was like, thank you for that.
I love how the lizard also asked Electro, like, did I die in that universe? And he never confirmed nor denied it.
Yeah.
So I was curious about that as well.
I like that.
But they've all been pulled like moments before they died.
Right. Because
that's from we know of. At least from some of them, yes.
I think that's why they explained that Sandman was only there because like I think he just got caught up in like them. I think Doctor Strange's explanation was that it pulled through the people who knew Peter Parker
as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he says he was like, I think it was a misunderstanding on Doctor Strange's part that they all die by Spider-Man's hand, so they all had to die.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, it's really interesting, and the movie starts to get into a, like, really, so this movie's a whole lot of fan service for sure. Is that a bad thing? No. I mean, I don't, like, we talked about, I don't get the argument that, like, that could be used as a, although not a lot of people are saying that it's a bad thing. A lot of people are 100% on board with this movie. It's at like 95% on
it's insane.
Rotten Tomatoes. It's like the best reviewed Marvel movie. I get it. It was like it uses fan service to drive the story, which is like what you want. I mean, in terms of my problems with, say, Rise of Skywalker, which I like. What? I don't want to get into.
Why are we talking about fully, Star Wars right now?
But one of our friends asked me last night, like, oh, are you excited for some new Star Wars game? Oh. And I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm sorry. I don't want to be cynical about Star Wars because I'm sure it looks good, but I didn't watch that trailer for the game because I am tired of certain things relating to Star Wars. I was like, I'm excited.
Yeah, the last Star Wars movie came out like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, but whatever. I think Boba Fett looks good. I don't love Robert Rodriguez's work, but whatever. Although maybe with a budget, unless he's like, give me $10.
In the studio, but Mr. Rodriguez, we're giving you $10 million. $10 is fine.
I have a green screen in my garage. I can do this. But I think it uses fan service to drive the story forward. In terms of it, and then it starts to get into a question of like, do superheroes have a responsibility to kill their villains? And
I like that.
Yeah, it starts to ask really interesting questions like that. And this movie has, so a couple of the people we saw it with, they're like, a lot happens in this movie, and it's true. And the fact that like you can easily understand everything going on somehow is like kind of a miracle on their part.
I just love the fact that looking back at the other Spider-Man movies, right? How, especially like the ones with Tobey Maguire with the first two, both of the villains in that, Spider-Man didn't want to kill them.
Yeah.
Right. He wanted to save them, right? And they both died with their own hands, you know. And watching this and like seeing them like helping them out and everything, and like have them, you know, not be evil anymore was a great thing to see. In
terms of like actual payoff, because we keep saying it, I want to get into like what they were. First one. Like, I guess we can go by order of movie.
Okay.
Alfred Molina, that's the second one. Willem Dafoe. Him finally reverting back to, like, the face he has at the end when he's finally just Norman again. And he's like, what did I do? And he mentioned something about Harry, like,
yes,
his son. And he was like, I had a son. I thought that was great. Like, there are very little lines in this movie that they just it's as simple as a line that you're like, thank you for,
that says a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for addressing that, or like a look on somebody's face, like with Andrew Garfield,
Yes.
or the that moment on the high school rooftop that they have, all three of them, with when they finally all say, like, with great power comes great responsibility.
Dude, that was insane. But, like, I guess they all realized, like, after that moment with, like, Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
And with, like, Aunt May, like, that's when they truly realized, like, their power within themselves, you know, and how much they have, like, that responsibility to use that power. To
have the moral obligation to do those things. I don't know what that full line is. I just know it's too long. I love that.
When you need to stretch your essay.
me when I pad the word count on my essay. Honestly, yeah. You ever look like the thesaurus words to try and fill out, like, make your essay longer? And you're like, okay, so what's a bigger word for?
When your teacher wants you to have 2 pages.
Oh yeah.
So you try to stretch out, like, those one just one word into, like, longer words.
I think I told you that I have a problem. I had a problem with essays where I ran into the opposite issue where all of mine were too long, and I was like, I don't know what to cut because then it sounds really choppy and like messy, and then they give
clearly you haven't seen the Venom movies.
3. Oh. No, Spider-Man 3 is better than either Venom movie.
Oh. Do you hear that, Darian?
our friend Darian.
Yes, we saw his list, his rank.
Their list,
it's not good. I mean, his opinions.
Yeah, whatever.
And our opinions.
Spider-Man 2. Alfred Molina, when he finally gets to have a conversation with Tobey Maguire's Peter.
Dude.
I love that they did that, like, with everyone pretty much.
Yes.
And he was like, how you been? I loved that. It was great. It was his first when he first shows up. The stomping. Yes. They do the same thing that they do in Spider-Man 2 that we talked about. Where, like, you hear it.
Yes.
And then he comes up, and it's so great. And I love that. Something I noticed about that is Peter Parker, like, it's like I said, it's really small details like this. His suit was so wrinkled because he was just, like, on the street.
Yeah.
And then it progressively just got more and more until he finally bothered to change. I thought that was awesome. Or, like, when his tie gets cut off.
Yes.
And they still have it there. I thought that was great. And that leads into Willem Dafoe's first introduction, like the laugh that you hear.
That was amazing.
That was another, like, audience gasp moment when you first see It's funny because it's in the trailer, but the way it plays in the movie is you're like, oh boy. And then, honestly, I really would have loved... I thought at first that Doctor Strange knew who that was because he gets sent, like, at the right moment back. Because they really make Norman Osborn feel like an extremely intimidating presence throughout this entire movie.
Yes.
Like the scene where it was funny because my dad's not typically, like, the most vocal person at a theater because he also tries not to talk, or I make him not talk. The moment when he's facing, like, the board, and Doc Ock says something about changing him back, and you just hear Willem Dafoe's, like, change of tone and voice, and my dad vocally was like, oh shit. And
the faces that he makes in this are so scary.
Yeah, I think it was a smart choice for them to, like, immediately smash the mask.
Yes.
Because as much as I love it, I know some people thought it looked too Power Rangers-y, was always the comparison.
Yeah.
I never minded it. I always liked how it looked. But Willem Dafoe, that's his face is one of, like, the most expression-based faces you could get for an actor.
Yes.
He just contorts it, and, like, his smile is almost like too wide, which is perfect for that character.
Yes.
But yeah, no, a lot of the conversations.
Oh, and then whenever Electra showed up as well.
Oh, yeah.
And like there's certain music cues in this movie whenever certain characters showed up, just with Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Electro, and when you just hear it, it was amazing.
They use everyone's motifs. Like, yes. I know some people, like, I get the hate for Amazing Spider-Man 2. I like it. I read someone was like, I read a tweet earlier today that was like, where are all these damn people coming from that are calling Amazing Spider-Man 2 a masterpiece? Who are you? Because no, it's not.
No, it's
but
not.
But like, I like it.
Yeah, I still enjoy it.
Yeah, but I would never. No.
I would never.
Absolutely not.
Man, I forgot that Dane DeHaan's in that.
Oh, yeah.
I really did.
I told you my comparison of him. He sounds like Keanu Reeves, and he looks like a very, very hungry Leonardo DiCaprio to me.
That was a good comparison.
Yeah.
I think it's the hair. It's so slick. Like, they put too much gel. And just, like, had it really down.
I think they have similar faces, or at least...
face structure.
Leonardo DiCaprio in his 20s.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. And... I mean, I don't know. Now I'm thinking of like how he looks like progressively really goofy looking in that movie until he like I've never minded that he looked like a lot of people
almost
said he
like
looked
Goblin.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're ever gonna do that though.
I did mind his like weird troll hair.
Yeah.
I thought it looked strange, and I still do. Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I was gonna say something about Doctor Strange. The fight.
No. Yes.
The train, the mirror dimension.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Holland, I never thought about this. He was like, "This is geometry."
Oh,
because I suck at math.
Geometry wasn't my favorite. I'm more of an algebra guy.
Remember, you and I would always were incriminating ourselves. A lot of we would collaborate on tests. It was a group effort.
Don't worry, guys. The teacher knew about this.
No, she didn't.
she was kind of clueless.
I remember when you and I
I saw her. I saw her.
Our old geometry teacher?
Yes.
Miss Patak?
Yes, Miss Patak.
Really? Wow.
She sounded more human than Bird.
How was she?
Huh? Looks the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Well, sort of.
Yeah.
That's funny. Then I thought about us like always cheating on our what was it?
My trouble was physics.
Physics. We cheated on physics a lot.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He would do the math ones. I would do the word problems.
Yeah, I suck at the word problems.
And I sucked at the math problems. You said collaborative effort. She had like 40-50 eyesight, so who cares?
And she had a broken hip, and Daniel was gonna threaten her.
Oh yeah, I remember one time she said she fell over because of her dog, and I found she had a dachshund. And I was like, yes, I love dachshunds. They're the best. Not that she fell over. I'm sorry to hear that she broke her hip, but she was like 3,000 years old. I mean,
she was pretty old.
She was like, I remember back in 20 AD when
it was just the hair. She had afro hair.
That made her old?
Made her look older.
I don't think that...
Oh, I think it was a perm.
You got a perm?
She got a perm.
She got a perm?
Yeah.
I've always thought about getting one.
A perm?
Yeah.
Don't you...
Either that
or
dye my hair.
For a perm?
No.
Or no?
But I like my hair. There's no reason to change it.
Okay. Why do you get a haircut? To change it.
That's what I always get.
Yeah, but to change your haircut. Like to change your hair.
No, I don't want to change my hair.
That's what you said.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah, Wong is in this.
Okay,
that honestly, like I said, enough happens that I was like, that does happen in this movie.
Yes, I'm trying to think of what else happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Or something that wasn't related to Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
I know, because like I said, like it was great
glad
before.
They were in it.
Yeah.
Like enough, in order to make a big impact.
Mm.
Not just to the movie, but to like to the viewers.
I think we'd probably be saying the same thing if they were only in the third act. Mm-hmm. But the fact that they're not, and they're in about half of it.
Yes, and I think I love more of them interacting with one another. Like whenever they were in that lab.
Yes. Yeah.
And they were just interacting. That was amazing.
Because I was talking about like Spider-Man. Every time we like have to talk about this, you're gonna have to say, "Oh, Andrew Garfield. Oh, Tobey Maguire." You can't call them Peter Parker because
yes, because there was a joke in this movie, right?
Oh yeah, no, I love joke that they have though. They're like, Peter, and they're like, yeah. Yes.
At one point, they all pointed it to one another.
Oh, they did do that.
Yes,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I was like, nice, that was good.
Yeah, that's why it's like there's enough like really random fan servicey things that you're like.
The writers or like producers or whoever, like they know these memes.
Yeah, they're very clearly like in on the not the joke because it's like it takes all of this stuff about Spider-Man seriously. I love the reference to Spider-Man 2. He's like, do you get because they all talk about the web shooters because like I think that they're very aware. They're like, we do need to address every single thing everyone's ever said about like, how does this work, and them both having web shooters like immediately whenever Tobey Maguire first meets Andrew Garfield and he's like he tries to web and he immediately webs him and then he gets stuck and then Andrew Garfield's like fair play like the face he makes was great. And honestly like the whole them talking about Spider-Man 2 is like just existential crisis stuff and then he's like I get it, me too. Like because like they get this character like I mean, and I also like that they all very clearly act different enough from each other that they are all different renditions. Like when Tobey Maguire first shows up, he's like, "Hey," it's like he acts exactly the same as that one does. And then honestly, like they make the joke about him looking like a youth pastor, and I was like, "Is he gonna have his suit in this?" I thought, yeah, but he does, and also the suits. They all look so great. Seeing them all,
it's still unbelievable. That one shot of all three of them.
Of all of them running. Yeah, yeah.
That was too good. I was like, that whenever they were fighting Tom Holland and Green Goblin on the shield, the way that Tom Holland was using his webs to fight. Oh, yeah. It reminded me of the video game.
Erwin kept making this joke while we were watching Far From Home. Life. And he was like, I did this during the game. And I was like, yeah, I've played the game, Erwin.
And then I kept saying that over and over again in the days like, yes, Erwin, I played this game.
Yeah, we kept talking about something else in Far From Home, but I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal's smelly.
No, he's bringing that up. I'm watching it, I'm like, Jake Gyllenhaal's a great actor.
So I think...
And Dana goes like, I wonder how many people think that he smells.
Yeah.
He's like,
during that scene, I was like...
Whenever they gave each other a hug, oh my god, you're like...
I wonder how he smells right now. Hopefully okay. Hopefully there's a Marvel contract somewhere you're like, you have to shower.
Yeah, you have to shower at least once a day, man.
Yeah, like, it's a necessity. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
Well, like an ambulance when you saw that trailer.
That trailer, looks good. Yeah, I like Michael Bay. I keep saying that on here because I need to say it. Just not Transformers, But you should watch, what did he just come out with that I liked? He came out with something. What was the last thing he did? I don't know.
For Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, Michael Bay.
Oh. No, that was,
I liked the first 20 minutes of Six Underground, but then it went off the rails and got really bad, for me at least. But what was he doing? Ambulance looks good. No, Bad Boys 3 was somebody else. That was those brothers that I don't remember the name of, but I like that movie a lot.
Russos.
No. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like anything else that we'd need to address. Really, I want to see College is next, right? That's like the next trilogy.
The way it ended was. I just want to talk about that again. I love the way it ended.
Yeah,
so much.
He has his. I don't want to call it like a shitty suit because it's not like shitty in that it looks bad, but he made it himself.
Yes.
And I was like, I didn't notice this, but somebody else pointed it out. He has the logos of the other two.
Dude, yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I think you probably saw it. Yeah, yeah. I love that it's like super shiny and that they show it on the sewing machine, and I'm really curious like where they're going. Like does this end perfectly? Mm-hmm. Absolutely, but they set up enough stuff that I was like, is he going to reintroduce himself to MJ? Is he going to meet Gwen? Because canonically.
What I was also thinking, whenever Doctor Strange does that spell, right? Mm-hmm. With him being, or like him having Peter Parker and Spider-Man not being the same,
Yeah.
Or just not revealing his secrets, right? I was thinking the past events, right? with Civil War, Endgame, and all. Like Spider-Man was there, I would say, right? I don't know how they're gonna address that, but Spider-Man was there, but they just don't know. Peter Parker.
Everyone forgot that
Peter Parker was there in a sense, you know.
But do they know that he's Spider-Man? Because like Happy walks up to him whenever he's like, "How'd you know her?" And then because he obviously still remembers Aunt May.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that works exactly.
Yes.
This kind of adapts. I told you I find this storyline horrendous. A lot of people do. One More Day, where
what's it about again?
Basically, Peter goes to Doctor Strange because he gives MJ cancer because his semen is radioactive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I get it, man.
Yeah. And then Mephisto's there. I forgot why.
No, Mephisto was in WandaVision.
Oh yeah, Mephisto was in Loki. Mephisto was in this. He was the villain the whole time.
Spoilers.
For a non-existent movie. And also people know that he's Spider-Man because of Civil War, the events of Civil War. Which, by the way, that comic book arc sucks. The movie's incredible. That arc sucks. Everyone acts so out of character in that, including Spider-Man for me. And he asks people, I think MJ, I will trade our relationship for her life. Mm-hmm. And it was a lot of that, but it wasn't handled very well. Yeah. It basically, imagine everything here that was done well, done wrong.
Okay.
That's why I was like, I'm surprised they're adapting One More Day. Everybody hates it.
But I feel like when it comes to, there's a difference between adapting it and then just clearly making it,
by the book.
By the book, you know.
Yeah, I was explaining to Aaron one time, our friend Aaron. He was like, "How does the comic book stuff work compared to manga?" Because manga is panel per panel. It's basically, for the most part, unless you're like Tokyo Ghoul or I'm trying to think of another one. Apparently, Promised Neverland ended terribly, which is why I was like, I still haven't seen it. I was gonna watch it, and then I heard that it ended horribly. So I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that. But a lot of the anime that goes off the rails usually does that.
Yeah.
Or Boruto, I've heard does that. But I don't even like Naruto that much itself.
I want to start watching Naruto.
You should watch the original, sort of, I guess, and then stop.
Okay.
But I was like, here, what they like to do typically is they take elements. Mm-hmm. They've never straight on adapted a story, I would say. I'm trying to think, while I'm saying this, I don't think that they have. Because, for example, Batman v Superman has elements of Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah. Has
elements of Injustice, but never 100%. Civil War takes the basis of it, Iron Man versus Captain America, but omits a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to think, Homecoming doesn't. Well, it's just the general spirit of Peter Parker being in high school for sure. Yeah. This one has elements of.
I love that. Other these three movies were just him in high school. I'm glad that we got to see that
because they stuck with it. They made you wait, and I thought that was awesome.
Yes,
I really did.
What does he mean by No Way Home? What does he mean by Far From Home?
What does he mean by Homecoming? Where's he going? Where's he coming to?
Is he at home?
Oh yeah, somebody asked me about the how that came to be. Yeah. It's the whole Sony the in joke is that Marvel Studios is actually his home, so he's home now. Spider-Man, home way home. That's where he's going. Home.
Home.
Where's
Guys, Spider-Man never came.
Home.
Came home.
Spider-Man never came.
MJ.
Did you finish Spider-Man? No. What else? Oh! J.K. Simmons is wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's just like Willem Dafoe. Yeah. Just like Willem Dafoe. It's insane.
I love that he's Alex Jones.
I love the part when he just shows the vitamins.
Dude, that's also an Alex Jones thing. Yes. Did you ever see his before and after thing that he did?
What do you mean?
So, Alex Jones, not J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes.
Did this thing where he came with these supplements. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean now.
The before and after.
Yeah.
and he looked the same, just way more red. And I thought that those pictures are so funny.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, it's.
he was in a basement or something.
Oh yeah, I love that it pans out and just the green screen behind him is like really thin and small. We never even continued talking about so Spider-Man 3. I like that they reference his Venom.
Oh yes.
He was like, I got this thing that happened to me one time. I thought that was great. Amazing Spider-Man 1, the thing with Kurt Connors. This movie made me like Lizard, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He was fine in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Fine.
Yeah.
I like that they even do. I don't know if it was like intentional or this is just the way. I think you say it. Reese Fahn. He's the way he says Peter, like with the emphasis on the P.
Peter. No. Poor Peter.
Because he says that exactly, the poor Peter part.
Nice.
And they reform him as well. Mm-hmm. I think that this movie, I thought it was smart that instead of him having to kill those people, he was like, I can help them. And like it creates a conflict within this movie that Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn basically takes advantage of, and it's the great line that's also in the trailer. He was like, "You're struggling to have everything you want or whatever."
Mm-hmm.
It's great because that is that character, and I want to see. I bet I'm really curious, like in terms of what I would want them to do next. I mean, they could do anything they want really, but my guess is Craven. Like I think that's one of the best storylines that Spider-Man's ever had. A lot of people argue it's the best one. Mm-hmm. Oh, they reference Rhino.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I mean, you briefly see a shadow or something of like Rhino whenever Doctor Strange is doing the whole universe thing.
Oh,
and like
yeah.
like in the sky, and you see like a bunch of Spider-Man villains, or not just I guess like Spider-Man villains, but like people who knew Peter Parker as Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
You know.
I love that they. I love that they're talking about. He's like, oh, I've never got to fight an alien.
Yeah.
With Andrew Garfield, and they're trying to explain to them what the Avengers are.
Dude, that would have been so cool if Tobey Maguire was like, oh, I know the Avengers. That'd be so cool.
Like, or something. Exist in their universe or something. Well, because like a lot of everyone when they first see Doctor Strange, like, you guys have wizards. Yeah, I guess we can give our rating. 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5, yeah.
Yeah, 5 out of 5.
Me too. I don't know what to say. I had to watch it again. I need to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, I couldn't tell you if it's my favorite Marvel thing, like in terms of Marvel movie, but could I tell you if it's my favorite Spider-Man movie?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, like, yeah, come on.
I can't even think. I heard someone say, like, I can't even compare these Spider-Man characters or like the movies itself anymore, you know, without thinking about this movie itself.
Yeah.
Just the characters alone, right? How people would say Tom Holland's my favorite, and you know, all that. I'm like, no, I love all of them now.
Yeah.
I don't care who's still on top. Like, I love all of them.
I love all of them. Mm-hmm. Holland has really become, especially with this one, just he is the pinnacle of this character for me though.
Yeah.
I love him so much as this role. I really hope that they are doing the thing we mentioned, like the Harry Potter thing. Like, you are growing up with this character now.
Dude, that's insane to think about. How you just see him in the high school years and then college years, and him just being an adult.
Yes, and I think that'll be really interesting because it'll probably follow. I don't know. I'm just excited to see it. I want to see him in college and see what he does when he's full-grown adult, and just see how everything pans out. I am super curious what they're doing next, but it's not like it even set up a sequel or anything. This has a very definitive, really great ending.
Yes.
And the reason why I want to spend more time with this character is because of how good this was. It was like, it's just more of like, it's not even that it left you wanting more. I want more because I loved this as much as I did. Mm-hmm. I would need to see this again and again and again before I told you where it would be in the MCU.
Dude, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Definitely
top 3.
There. Yeah,
definitely top 3.
Yeah.
I
have to look at my list again.
Yeah, I was like, the way I can state this is I get the comparison to Endgame. Like I was like, in terms of full on payoff, this one.
You know, also I feel like I can like say where I would put it.
Do you? You've seen it once.
I don't care. I remember everything.
Okay. Do you?
I think so.
Okay.
For now, I'm just gonna say. It's probably my second.
Okay. Can we do the caveat and be like, for now, I'm not gonna even try. I'm like, oh, tie.
I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter. I feel like it's.
Yeah, I mean.
Unofficial.
yeah. Don't listen to us yet.
No, yeah.
Unless, or definitively like.
But I feel like the reason why I'd say it's probably my second. After seeing after watching it more times, I just want to see if I have that same feeling as I do when I watch Endgame.
Yeah.
In terms of like how emotional I get from it, because first time watching it, like I told you, it was just more like disbelief of like what I'm seeing, right?
But do you remember what we both said about Endgame? We were both like, obviously we loved it. We thought that movie was perfect. We had to wait until like to fully process what we just saw, and I saw that movie 8 or 9 times in theaters. And you saw it.
No life.
No, sad. But
I only saw it once like a normal person, guys.
That's not even true. I saw that movie with you like at least twice.
Okay.
In the theater. You can't lie.
Oh no.
But yeah, I need to wait. I do. Because I still fully am like sort of not wrapping my head around the movie I saw.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
I feel even the second time it won't be enough. We're like, what am I even looking at right now?
Like I could tell you right now. I was like, what did we even just talk about for an hour? I don't know.
It just feels like we're just like making things up.
Yeah.
That's how it feels.
We're like, hey Erwin, do you remember when the Grinch showed up in the Polar Express 2? I hate that movie though.
Okay.
I hate both of those.
I love the conversations that we have about our younger selves.
Oh yeah.
Just like us in middle school and high school, and we would talk about things like this.
This like stuff like this happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, insane.
Well, I think even did we ever?
If I had a time machine, I would go back in time and just show them clips of.
I saw a review of this. I was like, this movie would kill a Victorian child. I was like, I agree. You just imagine showing it to. Okay, so I mean, if you've listened to this and you somehow haven't seen a single Spider-Man movie, what are you doing?
Yes.
But
I would show this movie to us after seeing Homecoming.
I would show this movie to us after having seen The Amazing Spider-Man. Because could you imagine? You'd be like, who's
Tom Holland? Why would you do? You have to see Tom Holland after Homecoming. I would feel.
Oh yeah.
In order to say like, oh, who's my favorite Spider-Man, and you just show them this movie, and you just go, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah. Homecoming.
Yeah, kind of like how Endgame was, right?
Yeah.
And because most of that Endgame was just paying off moments that were like established so long ago, and just seeing how it flourished into what it was now.
That's true.
Well, I don't know, just.
I could imagine. Well, I couldn't imagine like if you were to have seen Iron Man somehow, some way you got shifted, 10 or 11 years into the future, and then you're watching Endgame, you're like, what's going on?
Who are all these characters?
Yeah, like I know Iron Man. What's happening with him?
He dies? I just saw him.
He only had one movie. Yeah. What else is there to say? This movie's amazing.
Spectacular.
Superior. What are the other ones? Spider-Man PS4.
Spider-Man Miles Morales.
PS5?
PS5, I think.
What is Spider-Man 2 called?
I think Spider-Man 2.
PS5?
Yeah. I don't think they say PS5, but I think they say Spider-Man 2.
But a lot of people call Spider-Man PS4.
Why?
Because that's what it is. It's not the official name, but I think it's how you distinguish it. Because if you're like, have you played Spider-Man? You'd be like, which one?
I saw a cutscene of the Amazing Spider-Man game, and I remember playing that game. And I saw Rhino, and then like...
Dude, that game sucks.
Yeah, it's bad.
I remember you lent it to me, and I was playing it. I was like, this game has terrible controls.
Yeah.
I love the...
But I love the game because I was Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean... You fall into that when you're younger, though. Like, I played the Spider-Man 3DS game.
Yeah.
It sucks, but, like, I played it a lot.
That was me with one of the X-Men games as well.
I was like, there are X-Men games?
Yeah.
Wait, no, you're right. I played X-Men Origins Wolverine on the Wii.
Hey, when he was playing the game, he was going, wee!
Game sucked.
Every time you were Wolverine, you were just killing a bunch of soldiers. Wee!
Yay!
Blood everywhere on the screen. Wee!
But no, that was the problem with the X-Men Origins
blood?
Wolverine Wii game. Rated T for teen. Was that it wasn't like okay, so I was what? When did that come out? 2010 or 11 or 9?
Origins?
I was around 10 years old. I'm going to say that.
Okay.
And I pretty much beat that game. I rented it from Hollywood Video.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jeez.
Next to, I can't believe that, like, Hollywood Video.
Next to Chili's.
Yeah, it was next to a Chili's. Yeah. The place sucks, by the way. Although I do want to try their Cheeto boneless wings. The hot ones.
I just like their deals. I think that's what they advertise a lot, though. Chili's.
The dollar margaritas. That's them, right?
No, I mean, no, they're like 4 for $5 or something. Like Wendy's.
Oh,
I don't think about Wendy's.
The 4 for 4?
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
We should go on our cheat day. I just realized that. I want to go to those like certain fast food restaurants that do those deals.
I need to preface this by saying, because I don't think we've ever fully addressed, Erwin and I are like obsessed with fitness, because like I was texting you earlier, I was like, did you think that Tom Holland was bigger in this? I thought he was more shredded, like, actually.
He looked bigger.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But maybe because he was just shredded.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Also, he finally looks older.
He definitely
like he looks like he's in like the age they're depicting.
Yes.
And if they were to, you think they'll fast forward a few years?
I think so.
One? Yeah, like because I think if you look at him in red carpet pictures and stuff, number one, I told her, I was like, I want to dress like that whenever I go to anywhere fancy. Yes. I like his suits and his glasses. And I was like, hair. And his hair, yeah. And I was like, he looks like he's in his 20s now, for sure. When he was in Homecoming, he definitely looked, how old was he, 17?
In Homecoming?
Yeah.
He looked like 15 or 16.
But, like, how old is the character depicted at the time? He was a sophomore?
I think he was a sophomore.
Or was he a junior? No, no, they say it. They're like, Ned's like, you're a sophomore going out with a senior girl, I think is what he says. Yeah.
True.
I remember who it was, by the way. I was like, I miss someone that was in the first one that's not in the second one. And it was Hannibal Buress. And his face, he has this thing he does where he can say nothing. And I'm like, he's so funny. And
he's a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yeah. I love
when he goes, the students made you.
And he's like, you made that. Did you clap when JB Smoove came on the screen?
Yes, I did, of course.
Or Martin.
Call me Sir.
Martin Starr. Martin Starr
as well.
From he's nothing like his Silicon Valley character. Every time I see him, I always think
it's so weird.
Silicon Valley. Yeah. I'm like, but you're nice in this. I'm seeing it again in a couple days, actually. Like but honestly, it sucks because like I want to review The Matrix. Which, but while we're watching, I'm just gonna be like, I want to watch Spider-Man.
I definitely get in the mood of watching The Matrix, so I need to watch some movies.
Oh right, we're probably going to, I guess segue. We could probably end this now, unless there's anything else you'd like to address.
No.
Okay.
No.
For our next one, we'll discuss on what we're gonna do. We're definitely gonna talk about the new Matrix, the Matrix Resurrections.
Oh, and the Hawkeye.
And the Hawkeye when it ends, and everything going on with that. Which I want to review the first 3 if we have the time to do so.
Yeah, before the new one?
Yeah. We'll probably make it like a big, like, we could review all 4 or something.
No, because I feel like we would lack I feel like if we did that, then we won't give enough time for each movie.
Yeah. I do want to revisit those, though, because, like, the first one's an all-timer.
Yeah.
The second one I don't mind, and the third one I just remember getting too complex for its own good, but a lot of people have said that they like 2 and 3 now. And I know. But, like, I'm curious. I really am. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. I will say...
favorite line from Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin?
I can't remember any of them right now, but I just remember the one that he has at the end because like we were talking about how like during the third act, I was like everything's going so well. Where is he? And he's like, you hear him. He's like, in Spider-Man, come out to play. I love that.
Man.
What about you?
It's from Spider-Man 2. Avenge me!
Oh, I think I meant in this one.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh, okay, I guess the line where he goes, Peter, you're trying to live
2 different lives. I think I like that one the most too, yeah. I like when he says, with great power comes great responsibility.
And made died sad.
Yeah, that scene's so great.
Yeah, that was handled well.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk about that, but like when I was talking about how we can't talk about it. Yeah. Honestly, like I said, this movie really holds on the serious moments. This one was one of them. Like the Aunt May thing specifically, when she first gets hit, and then Green Goblin like flies away. It really, she's like, I'm fine. And I was like, okay, yeah. I was like, I mean, and then the scene keeps going until she, like, when he says something to her. And then, like, you see, like, her eyes, like, go out. And then you're just sort of processing with him, like, when it happens. And then Chef shows up. And he's...
Chef is Chef.
Yeah. It was great. It really was. Yes. And then the scene right after where he's like looking at the I don't know where he is, but the screen of J. Jonah Jameson.
I think it was like in Times Square, it looks like.
Was that what that was?
It looks like it. In the area that he was at. Yeah.
I just thought he was somewhere else, but like maybe he was.
Yeah.
And he's right up against it.
I was there with him.
And he was like, everything Spider-Man touches turns to ruin. And it's that like slow-mo shot of like the rain hitting against his face is really great. It's in the trailer, but like you never knew the context of it. Yeah, we both gave it a 5 out of 5. I can't imagine this not being my favorite movie of the year because I love Spider-Man.
I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, I want pictures of Spider-Man. All 3 of them.
Yes. I can't wait till they release
the posters.
I hope there's interviews with all 3 of them. I want to see that as well.
I want to see, like, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Actually, did you see the picture that was uploaded this morning of Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire together?
No.
Yeah, they were. I think they can finally do stuff like that.
And sorry, I have to. I'm gonna look at that right now.
But Erwin, where can the people find you?
On Instagram.
Okay.
At Erwin.trejo.
And me at Para32Para. I want to say thank you guys so much for listening. What did you think of Spider-Man? Hope you liked it. See you next time.